Friday for nearly a year, protesters demonstrate in the East Jerusalem neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah. They demand the end of settler takeovers of Palestinian homes. In recent years, the settlers won court cases that led to the eviction of Palestinian families from this neighborhood. Settlers say the land is theirs based on documents showing that Jews lived on the land during the Ottoman Empire more than 100 years ago. Most of the residents of the neighborhood are Palestinian refugees from the 1948 war. They cannot claim the land they lost in 48 because Israeli law prevents non-Jewish refugees from returning. They were therefore built homes here in the 1950s by the United Nations Agency for Refugees and the Jordanian government, which was then in control of East Jerusalem. After 30 years of legal battle, 3 families were evicted. The Al-Kurd family set up a tent outside their home in protest to the eviction. Police demolished the tent 11 times, and it is under constant attack by the settlers who have taken the family's home. Protests have therefore become weekly as the rest of the Palestinians are still fighting to keep their homes. Several months ago, the municipal police started preventing the protests, which are organized by a broad coalition of Israelis and Palestinians, from entering the neighborhood. While the protesters are prevented from demonstrating outside the evicted homes, settlers often do. Previously, The Real News spoke to Saleh Abu Daib, one of the main activists in the neighborhood, who's currently fighting to keep his home.
עומדים לנו כאן, מתחילים לרקוד, והשוטרים שומרים עליהם. מתחילים מוות לערבים, זה הארץ שלנו, אנחנו רוצים לזרוק אתכם, ואם אחד מדבר, המשטרה ישר עוצרים אותו. אני ארגנתי כאן כמה אנשים שישבו, רק הסתכלו מה הולך כאן, והפעלנו טב, נתנו לי דוח אישית 1,000 שקל.
על מה?
אני מפריע לשכנים.
The settlers, however, don't see the difference between the takeover of Palestinian homes beyond the Green Line, such as in East Jerusalem, and inside it, such as in Israel proper. Baruch Marzel, a right-wing politician and settler from Hebron, held a counter-protest several weeks ago. He told The Real News that the Jewish demonstrators are hypocritical because many live on land confiscated from Palestinians in 1948, rather than 67.
הם גרים בקיבוצים שעל אדמות שהם גירשו ערבים ב-48. אז אני לא אומר שצריך להחזיר, אבל לפחות תשתקו. כי אם אין לנו זכות לגור באמצע ירושלים, במרכז ירושלים, על אדמה יהודית, אין לנו זכות על שום דבר בארץ ישראל. ארץ ישראל! עם ישראל! הר הבית ליהודים, מכה לערבים!
Many settlers in the neighborhood also believe the battle is about religion and Jerusalem as a whole.
התורה בעד לגרש את הערבים, את המחבלים כמות, האויבי ישראל. מי שמשתלט על הר הבית, צועק הר הבית שלנו, מקים שם מסגדים וזה, הוא אויב הר הבית ליהודים, זה אף פעם לא היה של הערבים. בתקופה האחרונה הם התחילו להשתלט שם, וגונבים לנו קרקע. מי שמכריז נגד עם ישראל מלחמה, צריך להחזיר לו כשתיים.
Many of the Palestinian activists in the neighborhood have been repeatedly arrested and given bail conditions that prohibit them from attending protests. Saleh Abu Daib was arrested on the 14th of March for allegedly pushing back settlers who were trying to photograph him. He spent 9 days in detention and was brought before a judge 4 times. The Real News spoke to Hatem Abu Ahmed, his lawyer.
Unfortunately, he spent the last 9 days in high security detention.
Why do you think he was arrested?
I'm considering the issue of Sheikh Jarrah as a political issue. He's living in a house that settlers claim ownership in this house. It will be better for them taking one of the main member of the family to the jail rather than fighting with him at the court.
Abu Daib was finally released later that day. The judge ruled there was no evidence he was actually involved in any attack and noted the police work was incomplete and badly handled. Michael Salisbury is one of the main Israeli activists working with the Palestinians in the neighborhood. He attended the hearings.
ולמה אתה חושב ניסו לעצור אותו?
סלאח הוא פעיל מאוד מרכזי במאבק שלנו. סלאח הוא בעצם מנהיג שם בשכונה, הוא מסמל את ההתנגדות הפלסטינית בשייח' ג'ראח. הוא לא נכנע למתנחלים, הוא אף פעם לא נותן להם לקבוע לו את הסדר יום, הוא לא נותן להם להציק לו, הוא לא נותן למשטרה להכתיב לו איך להפגין, והוא בעצם מייצג את ההתנגדות הפלסטינית בשייח' ג'ראח. בגלל זה המשטרה החליטה שהם חייבים לשים אותו בכלא.
Salah Abu Daib's lawyer discovered that during the proceedings, police unsuccessfully argued that the alleged incident wasn't just an altercation, but an act of terrorism against the state of Israel.
After we found a document that they considered him participating in terrorist action against the state of Israel.
For what? What exactly was he accused of committing?
They considered the attacks against settlers as a terrorist action against the state of Israel.
A week later, Michael Salisbury found himself the target of state prosecution for his role in organizing the weekly protests. He was arrested at his home in the evening after last week's protest and brought before a judge the following day. The judge ruled for his release and again noted police misconduct.
It's becoming very strong. I mean, if we're talking about them coming to my house on Friday night and a Shabbat dinner, my family is religious. That says something. And if I was a Palestinian, I would still be under arrest. I would not be free. The fact that I'm Jewish, the fact that I'm Israeli, was part of the reason that I was out. If I was a Palestinian, I would still be in jail and probably days to come.